Come on, Dad. You get a free Cowboys jersey if you get it.
Oh, there it is. There it is, baby.
And we back.
Oh.
And we back.
Oh.
And
What do you
back.
mean? Right on time at 6:30, like we planned for.
Like we always plan for, baby. Look, it's the first show of the official offseason, I guess. The NFL offseason. Cowboys offseason has been around for, I don't know, a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So, but hey, we made it. We appreciate y'all sticking around, getting some extra whacks in if you could. I'm sure that's what I'd be doing.
Whack them if you got them.
I realized that as I didn't bring any drinks down.
Should I go grab some?
Well, after the intro, I'll go.
Okay.
I can go grab us some.
No,
drinks.
I can't. Why? I did my intro. I hope everyone's whacking.
Where you guys? How stressed out are you guys? Like, I'm just sitting in a hotel room already drinking. So,
oh man,
it's not too stressful on this end. I honestly was gonna make the suggestion. It might just be the bandwagon boy show tonight, is what I was kind of thinking.
Oh, hey, then Ant's
we figured it out.
Then Ant's just gonna finish that, 12 pack that he's got there.
12 pass by himself.
You know what?
Have a couple wanks.
Hey, I might as well go get another. Get two. Just have a frickin' night.
Yeah.
Have a night. Guys, first, like AJ said, first episode of the true offseason and the first episode since the Philadelphia Eagles have won their second Super Bowl title in less than 10 years.
I hate it.
And I do want to give a shout out to everyone who joined us on the live show. Our reaction got as our reactions do, they've been getting some good attention, mostly from the other team coming in. And I stay away from comments. I know you guys go in there.
Do you want me to tell you some of the comments?
I would love to.
They're pretty funny. Some of the comments are pretty funny.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm just saying, we also gain a lot of new subs from those videos, which we're assuming are from the other side of the fence.
Yep.
But we do hope that if they show up, maybe today wasn't the best day. There's a little bit of a delay.
They show in, they're like, these fucking guys, they just want us to watch their stupid
trailer for their
role.
Is this a movie? I don't know what this is.
What am I watching?
If you looked up the term rage bait on dictionary.com, it would just be a video of our Philadelphia Eagles games. Like, that's what drives those views is rage bait, but it's us that keeps people around. So,
oh, totally.
I thought, you know what? It was interesting. I'll just touch on it. It was interesting watching 4 fucking Philadelphia Eagles games and streaming 4 Philadelphia Eagles games. And what I took from it is, well, next year we pretty much the playoffs. We just have to do every game because I had a lot of fun. And once we were done, like last week when we didn't have a game to stream, shit felt kind of weird.
Yeah, you were sitting around like that Narcos meme where he's just sitting around like this. It felt like everything was done when we weren't. Like, we did more streaming during the playoffs than it felt like we did all season.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, let's hope next year we get a couple Cowboys games in the postseason.
I still think we do it even when when the Cowboys make the playoffs. I still think we stream every single game.
One of the things that happened to me on Sunday was, like, because we've been doing this for about 5 years now, give or take. I mean, there's the actual archaeological records of when Can fans started is hard to really nail down. But anyways,
no one knows.
People in my group of friends, which is getting smaller and smaller, they know that Sundays are basically, I won't be. Don't invite Alex to anything on Sunday. He's already busy. So it's like when those weekends are open and you wake up after not really doing anything on Saturday, and you're like, oh man, it's like, nope, just hang out by myself and I guess.
I was gonna say I'm talking to my circle of friends right now.
Yeah, exactly. And look, if we're not watching football, we're not getting together.
It does today when I came down here and I opened up the Super Bowl stream thing, and I just had that sense of, well, we're now 7 months until we are watching like actual football. I mean, thankfully we're in another season with mock draft season for ourselves.
Exactly.
But the toughest part of the year now is May till mid-July. That's like the Sahara.
That's the grind.
Yeah,
this is the real grind.
This is the fake Sahara Desert. It's gonna feel like there's nothing going on, but there's actually lots to talk about.
Oh yeah, and
players to break down.
The mock drafts, and obviously tonight's the first mock draft that we're doing live. we're gonna have a lot of fun. So if you're tuning in for the first time or the 90th time, we're here twice a week still. Be a bit more casual on the Sundays. Wednesday night main event, still the main event. We're always doing these mock drafts. We're still going to be tossing out tons of fan content
Bring
for
back
y'all.
the Sunday service too.
Sunday service comes back, yeah.
But you are right. After the draft, there is
then
that pretty dry zone because now it's like we're waiting for them to get back onto the field so we can start talking about how awesome the undrafted rookie is showing up in practice.
Or what it is, May to July is people convincing us that the draft pick that we hated is good.
And I'll fall, I'll fall every year. You make a good enough argument.
I was gonna say,
we just need Big Chris around us more.
I know
to keep us in check.
I was gonna say that the Bane quote where he's like, "I was born in the dark." Well, CanFan was basically born in the dark. We started right after the Super Bowl that one year. So for our first
never watched a full college football game in my life.
We didn't do any mock drafts so the first 6 months we were talking and we were literally in the dead zone of Cowboys news and everything. So this CanFan knows how to rock and roll during the Sahara Desert. I was just going to say,
we have fun.
Going back quickly to the comments, and then we'll get into the show. I'll go grab some drinks for us.
Okay.
Not you, Anth, because you're fucking in a hotel.
He's already cracked. There it is, the Surge, baby.
The thick Surge White Claw. Hey, don't do that. We got our sponsor.
Sorry. That's
Surge.
sorry.
That's only by necessity.
Only by necessity. Hey, next time you're down, you should take a. Oh no, you'll just drink it before you get to your road.
Yeah, you think I'm making it to Wednesday?
I was gonna say, collectively, and it's not even like majority. Like obviously you got the Fly Eagle Fly quotes, but I would say the most common top 3 comments are, and the first one is, "Damn, that kid knows ball," or "He's a psychic. Oh my God, that kid called the pick 6 from Coupe de Jean." That was like collectively almost every other comment was talking about how cool Riker was and how the Three Stooges or Doofus, Dum Dum, and Dork are lame. Hey kid, drop those 3 dorks. Come over to the real team. We got a Jalen Hurts jersey waiting for you. Ugh. Hey kid, you know ball. Come over to so that was like collectively the most comment stuff.
I'd say 70% of them were pretty much that.
Yeah,
and calling us the Three Stooges. We got called the Three Stooges.
We got called Three Stooges.
Legends.
Dum Dum, Dork, and Doofus was my favorite one.
Dum Dum, Dork, and Doofus.
I mean, I don't hate it. I would definitely be Doofus.
Yeah, my favorite comment, and I was waiting. My favorite comment though, I was gonna wait to read it live on air to AJ. Buddy at the end was so drunk with shades he couldn't handle this sober. But hey, listen, I was surprised.
You know what? When I look back at it, it was about the memories we made.
It's about the memories, man. It's like the fucking guy from Can't Hardly Wait.
Well, look, at the end of the day, and I'm transitioning us into the show.
You tranny us, and I'm gonna go get us some drinks.
At the end of the day, we end up with a Philadelphia Eagles team who has now won 2 Super Bowls. Was Romo playing when the Eagles won with Foles?
No.
Well, Dax watched the Eagles win 2 Super Bowls, go to 3 Super Bowls. And my biggest question, and I think what I've been reading some really good articles, they're very lengthy, so they're not necessarily CanFan friendly, but we could still pull some of them up. I'll wait till Adam gets down. But I just want to bounce off you and something that stands out to you as to what you saw Philadelphia do either this year or over the last few years, and what the Dallas Cowboys could basically learn from them to improve their team. Because when you think about it, real quick, a 7-10 team without our starting quarterback for the majority of the season, 20 or so. I think we signed 1 free agent and lost 10, give or take.
Yeah.
The team wasn't necessarily set up for victory. Still, I wonder if it would have been 10-7 had Dak been playing. We win an extra 3 games and instead of losing. I'm not saying that we go to the Super Bowl, but just putting that into context, the team really wasn't too far off from making the playoffs, and we had a banged up ride. So I'm not trying to make an argument for the Cowboys, but just bringing all that context together, what should the Cowboys do, or what are some major things that we can do really quick?
Well, and you mean like kind of comparing to what the Eagles have done?
Yeah, if there's something that stood out, you're like, oh, this is something that we're not doing, and I see that the Eagles have done this.
Pursued free agency. The Eagles were into free agency to win. They got one of the best free agents in the 2024 offseason in Saquon Barkley. They got Bond, the linebacker. I'm pretty sure they signed him this year too, or a couple years ago, who ended up having he had an interception in the Super Bowl. They drafted very well last year, as you saw with Cooper DeJean taking a pick 6 back in the Super Bowl. So, I mean, there's multiple things. I think I can't really say draft. The Cowboys need to draft better like the Eagles, because the Cowboys have been half decent drafting in recent years. What they haven't done is complement their draft or complement their free agents with the draft.
Right.
So you fill the holes at free agency. You try to get a couple big holes filled, and then what you didn't address in free agency, then you kind of filter the draft. The Cowboys didn't do that last year. The Cowboys didn't say, hey, we don't really have a running back issue or a running back what am I going to say here? Like a solving problem to the running back issue. They just had Zeke and Rico Dowdle, which wasn't really a suitable thing going into the season, right? So the Eagles went out, saw what they had holes in, got free agents, and then where they didn't have holes, they drafted guys. So the Cowboys are going to have a bunch of holes on this team with the amount of free agents that they're going to have going into the 2025 free agency period. So I think they need to hit free agency hard, and then whatever they didn't get at free agency, they need to build through the draft.
Yeah, and this is the place where I think we need to come to an understanding of what to expect next year. Obviously, look, I'm talking like this now. Do not clip this and show it to me in September when we're going to be chanting Super Bowl. It won't matter. We're going to be hyped up. But the reality is, I think that this year I think it's a 2-year process to get the team to a place where they're going to actually be competitive. Perhaps we do make the playoffs next year, right?
Like playoffs?
Like I mentioned earlier, we weren't
Crack them if you got them.
if you got them.
Crack them if you got them.
Crack them if you got them. Oh,
fucking do it. Trip cracks. I was trying
Trip
to give
cracks. Crack them if you got them. Well, like on paper, at least, we weren't too far off from actually making it into the song and dance there. So, but this is just something that I think goes to what you were talking about, Anth. It's the cap hits, and there's a lot of technical shit on this article, but this is something, you know me. I like a good Excel chart.
I like it. Date or episode 1 or show 1 of the offseason, and we got a chart. That's what I like to see.
Jay?
Chart J's
Hell
back,
yeah,
baby.
And this is from bloggingtheboys.com. It's the cat hits deferred, and you can see how far. First of all, Philadelphia is number 1 by far with deferred cap hits. $468 million deferred over the next, 5-10 years.
And what's that mean? That's how much they've kicked it down the road?
So the contracts that they have now, this is how much money they've kicked down the road. Exactly.
Okay.
Cleveland is the net. So Philadelphia, $469 million round up. Cleveland, $289 million is the next up there. And Dallas, $79 million. They're in the top. But what we're seeing here is a Philadelphia team that said, okay, we have a 5-year window. And the funny thing is they've already won a Super Bowl, X amount of years ago as well. So this is a process you can continually repeat, be a thorn in the side of your other teams. But then when that opportunity arises, you go all in, you kick the rest of the fucking money down the road. And another thing that Eagles do well that kind of makes this a little bit more palpable, I believe, is they will sign early. And they don't mind signing early.
Neither do the players.
Neither do the players. But obviously by the end, say your contract's over in 2026, 2027, by that time, you're getting a deal for that player's ability, right?
Yep.
So I don't know. I haven't looked at all Phillies, but I'm assuming a lot of these contracts that they've kicked down the road are going to be guys that either they will re-sign and maybe do that same thing again, or it's fine. Who cares? They won a Super Bowl.
Well, you had Stephen Jones saying, God, man, they're in cap hell. They're in cap hell. It's like, if you're winning Super Bowls, who gives a shit?
Doesn't matter.
Like, if you could be in cap hell, the Cowboys are gun shy because they kind of got themselves into some trouble when they had Tony Romo, when they had Des Bryant, when they had Ezekiel Elliott's second contract. Like, you're looking at Dallas's $79 million. I still think some of that's from Ezekiel Elliott, but I don't think that's a way to go into trying to go and get people, is to play scared. Push all of Dak's contract now, push all the CD's contract now, sign Micah ASAP, trade for fucking Myles Garrett, draft Ashton Ginty, and let's fucking go, baby, because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of watching the Philadelphia Eagles make every move that's right. And so let's do it. Let's be in cap hell. Let's get there.
And that's my thought is I want to see a nice 2-year project where we make, because I just don't think we're going to fill 20 holes this season.
Hey,
you watch me, baby.
Hey, I know how many holes do we have between us? We got 6 holes at least.
At least
Between us. So, you know, but it's so many players to bring back, and then to get, not only, like, let's say they even bring back enough dudes and then get enough, go out there and they're aggressive enough in free agency. There's still going to be that learning curve with all these new coaches. And even if everything falls into place, you're up against an Eagles team who, for sure, they might be entering some difficult years with having to let some guys go for their contracts, but they're still the returning Super Bowl champions, have always been a thorn in the side of the Cowboys. And now we see this arrival of Washington, and the Giants are one, you know, give me a quarterback who's a guy who can throw
Matt
for
Stafford.
One Matt Stafford away from being. Do the Cowboys suddenly end up 4th in the league? Is Dak Prescott being talked about as the 4th best quarterback in the NFCs? Not that I agree with it. I'm just saying things are shifting in the NFC East, and if Cowboys don't make these aggressive changes over these next 5 years, they could find themselves in the bottom of the barrel, and we end up with those Garrett years.
Can you, AJ, you said, Ad was getting drinks, but so I'll re-say what you had asked.
Yep.
AJ was asking what the Cowboys could kind of do to try to mirror what the Eagles have done in their last 10 years to get this multiple Super Bowl appearances. And one of the things that the Eagles did is they drafted Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round when they still had starter Carson Wentz on the team, right? And then they traded Carson Wentz, got some picks, and turned that into more stuff, right? So I would be completely fine with the Cowboys going out there. And I don't know if this is necessarily the draft to take a quarterback, but if they took a quarterback in later rounds, or if next year they see a guy and take a guy in the 2nd or 3rd that has some very big talent, I'm not against that now. Dak isn't getting a 4th contract from the Cowboys. You have to start looking for his replacement.
We've done it, and maybe we'll see it tonight in our first live mock draft of the season. But
mock draft V 1.0.
Yeah, that's gonna get me rock hard.
Quinn Ewers is one of those quarterbacks who seems to be available every single time we do a mock. Now, granted, will he be available? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I think the three.
And that's what's fun about the draft.
And that's what's fun about the draft. But like, just talking about like, what do the Eagles do over the Cowboys? The Eagles since 2016 have spent over $700 million. I think it was like $730 million on free agency.
Yeah.
Cowboys have spent less than half of that. They spent like $358 million since 2016. I think the average was like $34 million is what the Cowboys spend per year to the Eagles 74 or whatever it equates to. So when you
more than double.
You got to.
Yeah. So I
wonder what the league average would be like. Obviously, we're not going to dive into that now, but I wonder what.
Look, AJ's ready to blow. AJ's ready.
32 teams.
AJ's ready to blow his load before we even get into the offseason.
I wonder where the Cowboys would be on that list and where the Eagles would be on that list. But we know the Joneses now, since we all know Jerry's not actually making the calls. It's Stephen Jones. And since Stephen Jones has been making the calls about signings, they're very, very, well, he's Catboy. That's his nickname, is Catboy, because he's scared to go pursue free agents because of cap hell.
Yeah, get him out of there.
I will say this, Anth, because Google AI is,
it's good.
Is it accurate? Is it not?
It gives you the citations.
It gives us, but then you got to go citate the citations. No. Not sure what the average was. It says I guess the average contract was 11.1 million, but the Dallas Cowboys spent the least in 2024. Obviously, you signed one old linebacker.
No,
I
they're
love
long,
Kendricks.
they're long snapper and fucking Kendricks.
Trent Sieg, you sign your long.
Right.
Yeah.
Trent Sieg.
No, sorry,
Well, Sieg wasn't. Sieg was a re-signing though.
Yeah, but
he went to free agency, but
Yeah.
look,
they didn't actually go out.
Yeah,
if you look,
totally.
you can't see it, but Dallas spent $8 million. Trent Sieg's contract was one something, so they're close to the 11 million average with two players.
That's good.
That's awful.
Sorry,
I say.
Did you answer the question? Answer the question.
What do the Cowboys need to do?
What do you? Is there anything that stands out?
We're putting your feet to the coals, baby.
What stands out in your mind for what you saw the Eagles do, or any team really? But the Eagles won the Super Bowl and they're in our division, and then what the Cowboys aren't
we
doing.
hate them,
and we hate them,
and we hate them. What I saw the Eagles do, obviously making those major moves in the offseason with free agency, that allowed them to also draft for their positions of needs or positions of depth. I mean, man, their O-line was huge. Like they have a huge
O-line and D-line,
and they have all of the Georgia Bulldogs D-line. So like
pretty much, yeah.
Like
their D-line is the Georgia Bulldogs.
They just stacked in the right areas to and then made that big move by going out and getting Saquon. So you have the right elements. Would Gainwell have done the same? Would a different running back have produced the same as Saquon Barkley? I mean, maybe they still would have won those games, but you put an electric player like Saquon Barkley into an assembled trench like that. I mean, and we obviously saw what Saquon Barkley did, because you saw what Saquon Barkley did in the Giants. Nothing.
I'll tell you this. The Eagles are so good at this fucking draft game and so good at this free agency game that if they wouldn't have signed Saquon Barkley, they would have drafted a guy like Bucky Irving. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And no, maybe he doesn't have, granted, the 2,000 yards and have that explosive season that Saquon has, but they still would have addressed that need of running back with the draft or free agency.
Yeah.
I'd like to read to you guys if I could.
Read, dude. I dare you.
I want to read.
And you can't see the screen, right?
Yeah, and just everybody.
No,
take,
I can
take
see
a moment.
Okay.
Take a moment to say what up, chat. Chat's been rocking hard
Chat,
for
what's
us.
up?
After you
Don't
go through
forget
this,
to hit that like button, baby.
Yeah, after you go through this, I'll say a couple comments from chat just to keep them in the mix here for you guys.
Awesome. So this is going over what the Eagles have done in free agency, drafting, and through trades. So we'll start with free agency here, and we can all switch off. You know how we do. The Eagles made a fantastic signing in Saquon Barkley. Everything lined up perfectly for that situation. Barkley was healthy. The Eagles' offensive line was fantastic. Kellen Moore and Jeff Stoutland maximized his talent. It was a home run pick. While the Eagles forked out some cash for that, they also landed an amazing low-cost fine of linebacker Zach Bond, who had an all-pro season.
And
that's the guy I was talking about, AJ.
And a big interception.
And an interception in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Oddly enough, the Eagles' most expensive free agent signing last offseason was edge rusher Bryce Huff. The Eagles gave him a 3-year, $51 million deal, but he's been a player of no consequence. Nobody's talking about him being a free agent blunder because the team is winning. Philadelphia is throwing a bunch of money out there and hoping some of it sticks. And fortunately for them, some of it is.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's what if you're playing a video game.
You got to take chances on some guys.
That's what you're doing.
And some guys aren't going to work out. And realistically, sure, they threw a 3-year, $51 million deal. That's not that much money.
In the grand scheme of things, no.
No, not at all.
For sure, if you're having to make a decision because you only got X amount, then that definitely can be consequential for the team. But when you're thinking about a guy who, okay, he could be the game changer, like I'm not going to say flipping a coin 50-50 because you have some history with these guys. But Saquon, for example, had the injury history. Always the question, was he going to get injured again? Is this something that we're going to see? And he's going to be one of those guys that are great for 8 games and then they get injured. It worked out for them, didn't it? He completely changed that offense. So I don't mind, I like the idea of saying, okay, let's go out there, get some big names. And if 2 of 5 show up, I think that's a pretty good. Now, they only listed 3 players here, but there are.
And hit 2 of 3 of them.
Hit 2 of 3. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, listen, at the grand scheme of things, $51 million deal over 3 years, that's pocket chain to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott makes more than that in 1 year, bitch. I don't know if
Most
it's something to
places
be bragging
much.
about. Hey, it's not something to be bragging about, but that's
well,
okay.
you can brag.
Drafting this is one of the biggest needle movers. A team that was once drafting first rounders like Nelson Aguilar, Jalen Reagor, and Andre Dillard is now hitting day one home runs. They built an incredible offensive line presence with the help of 2 second-round gems in recent drafts, Cam Jurgens, and Landon Dickerson, or Landon Dick.
Yep.
Uh,
Landon's dick.
Land on his dick.
Land on his
baby.
Land on his dick. Oh shit!
They doubled up at nose.
That joke rates itself.
I know.
I'm telling you.
It does.
They doubled up at nose tackle in back-to-back drafts with Jordan Davis and game record Jalen Carter. And they just had a second-round rookie, Cooper DeJean, take a Patrick Mahomes interception to the house for a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. It pains us to say this, but the Eagles are drafting a lot better these days.
It's true. They are. 100% they are.
Yeah.
They're nailing it.
And
it's really unfortunate.
I mean, and so Brent Packer guy saying this Eagles talk is depressing me. It's depressing all of us, but we have to
go
this-
through
We
it.
have to do it.
This is the
CPG,
step.
we got to go through it.
We can't.
If we want to be the GMs that we need to be during our mock drafts, we need to see what these sons of bitches are doing, and we need to be able to say, well, say we get this guy in free agency, we need to have reasoning for maybe certain positions that we take. So
Yeah.
I think you have to see what the Super Bowl champs are doing, because the Eagles, they've been to 3 Super Bowls in 10 years. You have to start looking at what they're doing.
Liam 1256 says the Eagles took risk with Jalen Carter and Saquon. They both paid off. I mean, when you look at
I mean, Carter was like
Carter
a
should
gift
not.
wrap.
Carter was a gift wrap
wrap
for them, and I remember us when we're
Still
watching.
risk, still risk.
Still
'cause
risk.
His case wasn't settled and stuff, or that stuff wasn't settled. But that guy was, before the off the field stuff, he was some people were thinking he was going to be the first overall pick.
And you know what, like Saquon, I would also say that was a risk. Obviously, you know, you have someone who's a very has a lot of talent, has seen a lot of injury. I used to call him Mr. Glass in our fantasy football league because every time I draft him, he'd go down.
You have to draft Saquon next year, Adam.
I should.
I have to.
Sorry, I will. For CanFan, I will draft Saquon Barkley in fantasy football.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes. I
And
will
get Nate over here to watch all his games with us.
Yeah, he's not making it through that.
Hey, not that we want anybody to be injured, but come on, let's be real.
You know what, the risk factor though, it's like there is an amount of risk for any player, any single player, even Tom Brady, because the risk is like, are you going to go out there and play smart enough football where you don't get injured?
Yeah.
You might have all the skills in the world, even and you know, I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying, yeah, there's that risk aspect that's involved. How much do you let that play into your decision making? And I think obviously it's easy to say in hindsight, but the Eagles made the right decision, and I would have done the same thing. Carter, I don't care about the offseason issues, because regardless of what it might be, I just know that they're going to get the best lawyers, and they might push something down the road by a year or two anyway. So
Yeah, so you're gonna get 1 season, maybe 2 out of him before he goes.
But then by that point, it gets pushed so far, courts get fatigued, and they'll come to some sort of a deal. He's been in the NFL. You know, there's all the. So I'm not so worried about that. But Saquon, I was much more worried about, and I believe if you even go back and listen to us, like I was like, I don't know if I
100%.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, AJ. There's definitely footage of us.
Yeah.
Sewering the pick after, even though we all wanted the Cowboys to get Saquon. Guaranteed, as soon as the Eagles got him, we're like, well, he's got injury history. So.
Yeah.
Take Mr. Glass.
And Willie
now the best rushing season of any running back to win the Super Bowl.
Now,
Most rushing yards ever ran in an NFL season.
Yeah.
Now, granted, would he have had that type of season with the Cowboys? Probably not. He would have. He definitely would have put up more numbers than what we did. But our run game was atrocious last year.
All right, well, let's talk about trades. The Eagles are wheelers and dealers. In the first 3 seasons, they have made moves to acquire A.J. Brown, DeAndre Swift, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Those guys have been key players for them. Now, they also have made plenty of deals that haven't amounted to much. Players like Kevin Byard, Kenny Pickett, Jahan Dotson, and Robert Quinn didn't live up to the high praise fans gave the front office at the time of the trade. But whether they work out or not, the Eagles are always willing to deal. I'm confused what he means about the Kenny Pickett. I thought Kenny Pickett was.
The
I thought he
QB.
was just a. They did trade for him. I didn't know that. I don't follow enough of Eagles shit. Kenny Pickett, he's their backup quarterback. Like, was anyone really expecting him to do much when Jalen Hurts is there?
No.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, right. So let's just remove that name because that doesn't make sense.
Kenny Pickett feels like Gardner Minshew. Like, you know what I mean?
Dotson scored a Super Bowl touchdown. That seems pretty sweet.
With trades too, it's like you're never going to get the sweetheart deal where it's like, okay, oh, you think that this guy is good? We'll trade him to us then. You think that this guy can help your team? Trade him to us. Trade him to us then for less than what he's worth. You're always going to have to find a guy who is not respected much on the team, or you believe that they don't think that his ceiling is here, and you think his ceiling is here. And for audio listeners, I had one hand lower than the other, indicating that the ceiling was lower for the first person and higher for the second person. So
he did. He's not lying.
So like being aggressive with trades and getting a name that just something that stands out as a skill. I and I think maybe the amount wasn't the right amount. He's like that hand holding there.
That happens sometimes.
Who's the young dude that we got, the wide receiver? Name escapes me.
Mingo?
Jonathan Mingo.
Jonathan Mingo has some nice physical stats. If he can get some work in and they can find a way to utilize him in this, let's hope it's somewhat of a new and revamped offense, it could end up being a really good trade for us. But at this point, there's really nothing exciting. We want to bring someone in to kind of fill that role. So, we'll have to wait and see, but it could also just be one of those, okay, we just gave up a late round pick for a flyer. Point being, I think we have to be okay with that sometimes too, because it could turn out, even though it didn't necessarily, it was a little bit of a surprise or questionable trade that they made when there was other people available. But tis what it is. Speaking of trades, dudes, lots of rumors, and we might be late to the party, but we got to touch on it anyways. Did you want to hit up chat first, or?
Oh no, sure.
Okay.
I mean, a couple comments. Timothy Ball signed Parsons and Garrett restructured Dak and CD's contract, grab Derrick Henry, and wait till 2026 draft and try and go after Arch Manning.
I mean, I like that, Timothy.
I think if you do all that stuff, you ain't getting the first pick. Like your team's going to be good enough to not get the first pick, right? To get Arch Manning, that you have to finish 3 wins, maybe I'd say. And we looked at the Cowboys as this year was probably some of the games they were in their worst shape with their starters.
Yeah.
Right. Lots of guys injured, and they still had 7 wins. Like everyone was hoping for a tank season to get a top 5 pick. I think the team has too many talented players like Micah Parsons, like Deron Bland, like CeeDee Lamb, like Dak Prescott, to ever prevent them from even getting a top 5 pick if all those guys are healthy.
Well, you saw too, Anth, that Cowboys are the 23rd ranked team in the NFL. I believe you share that. So, the chances are if we play any of those teams lower than us, if we're basing it off that, like Cowboys are still in that 12 to 17 zone for picks, even next year.
Yeah,
totally. There's a couple other comments that we kind of already went over. Actually, one I question, because R2J2's in the chat, and he can just let me know. This is a personal thing here. He goes, well, good news. I think the Eagles are going to trade an ego issue that popped up after the Super Bowl and need some salary cap issues for a couple of years. So I don't know what
I'd take it though.
AJ Brown. AJ Brown. Yeah, he came up. He said he was a champion. He thought it was going to feel like more, but he was kind of saying like he feel like he didn't do enough during the Super Bowl, that he's already over it, the Super Bowl win, and he wants more, is what he said. So I imagine that's what R2J2 is talking about. But
I don't mind. I mean, just hearing it quoted from Anth's mouth there, I don't really mind that. It's like you could feel you could feel a little disappointed in yourself that you wanted to help the team out more and that you weren't involved. And as long as he's not like, they should have passed to me more, I should have gotten, I was out, like doing that type of thing, I don't mind being like, I want to go out there, I want to repeat this, I want to run this back. That sounds fine.
This is another one here from Liam 1256. I think the Cowboys should look into what they can get for Dak. The Eagles traded Wentz when they realized he wasn't good enough and got 2 second rounders. We have to explore every avenue, even QB.
Time out.
Hey,
they traded Dak after they had Jalen Hurts on the team and saw, holy shit,
Wentz.
We had
Wentz.
a guy that probably no, but they had Jalen Hurts behind Wentz.
No, I know. Yeah.
They traded Wentz.
They traded Wentz. You said Dak.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
They traded.
Idiot.
I'm getting ahead of myself. They traded Wentz when they had Jalen Hurts behind him, right? So they had a plan in play. Like I'm fine if they draft some guy in the second round or third round of this year or next year that ends up looking like he could compete in the NFL. Then yeah, I want to start exploring that. But trading Dak just to have no one, I don't know if I'm game with that yet, because you still have CeeDee Lamb in his prime, you still have Micah Parsons in their prime. With those guys in their prime, those are two superstar players. You have to try to still win.
Okay, so
right?
so go ahead.
I want the Cowboys to absolutely draft a quarterback this year, and someone who I would say, do we have the 4th round pick? No, we don't.
No, that went to Mingo.
Mingo.
Well, look,
Jonathan, the Mingo, Ringo, Tingo.
Tingo Mingo.
we got a handful of 5th rounds, I believe. So
Yep.
getting a quarterback there like a Ewers or someone of that caliber who maybe is not like this high stud, because the reality of getting an Arch Manning who's going to be a big name, same with Shedeur Sanders. My belief is if you're weighing what you could get with that number 1, 2, 3 overall pick versus the potential of both those quarterbacks if you were to draft one in the 5th round, my money's on, at least in this season right now, my money's on get the guy in the later round and see if you can develop him. There's so much that goes into these young college players, and I'll use Shedeur Sanders as the example because he was playing with his dad, playing on a team that was like extremely motivated. Obviously, you get a guy like Prime as your coach, you're going to be like, let's go out there and win. And so I don't know that he's going to be a starting QB in the NFL. I would honestly much rather take a guy like a Rourke or a Ewers who have this bigger body and seeing like what can we do with it. Is it a couple years of footwork and arm strength and passing that we can proper movement that we can do, and is that going to get him to the point where what you want to do is develop him so that it's not a question, and this is what Eagles did. Hurts was better than Wentz. We love Dak, but if in a year or two after you would draft a quarterback, the other guy is just showing up more, it's either hope for the injury, which you don't want to see, or now is the time, start looking for who we could trade Dak for. But I agree, these next 2 years, unless there's a gift-wrapped option there for the Cowboys, they more than likely are not going to find a quarterback who is going to perform better than Dak with this team.
Well, absolutely. Quarterback's always an important thing. Let's maybe talk about someone who can be traded.
Yes.
Micah Parsons.
Yes.
There's all those glazing rumors, gaslighting rumors.
The Cowboys
Lots of talk about it.
I think it's just, honestly, I think it's an interesting question. But for us in this room, I'll answer for us all. You resign the motherfucker and you bring him
and
back.
now, like tomorrow.
Sign him now. Yeah.
Yep. Sign them.
And he's saying he'll take a pay cut to go get other people. So be like, work with them a bit and be like, what do you want us to aim for? If you could save $10 million on Micah Parsons per year and go out and get 2 free agents with that, or 1 very good free agent, why the hell wouldn't you do that? And I think it comes down to a power thing. Like the Joneses don't want to be like, okay, we're playing, we're giving the player a little bit too much say in what we're doing. And I think if Micah does take less money for the Cowboys to sign other players, he instantly moves up on my respect board because, like you said, but 30 million or 40 million, I'm still going to make a lot of money. I make a lot of money outside of football anyways. Like I want to win championships. And just today it was leaked that he said if by 30 years old he hasn't won a Super Bowl, then he will look to go somewhere else. And I respect him saying that even. Like he knows what he wants. He's playing in the NFL not to make money. He's playing to win a Super Bowl. So I think you try to load up right now. Sure, maybe the Cowboys don't make the postseason. Maybe they do and get knocked out in the first round. But you still have a window with Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb. So you still got to try to do it.
You could look at Micah as being the Dak Prescott on the defensive side of the ball. So if you flip the script and say this is what Dak is saying, like what would the answer be if Dak was like, hey, I'll I'll take a lesser contract. You go out there and get me some dogs. I mean,
Which he should have fucking said that.
Which he should have. Like,
if the
he should have taken 50 million a year instead of 60.
Take 55 million. You greedy fuck.
Greedy fuck.
but just to your but just to your point of the that's a gift that a player is giving you, because the ultimatum is fine. Then I'll put Micah Parsons going to free agency. He's going to get the highest contract there. You don't want to let him do. Dak Prescott's probably going to get a higher contract or a really reasonable contract from another team that's going to make him happy. If the Cowboys don't want to play ball, so
Dak would have probably got close to what he got paid by the Cowboys, but I like
not in this year, but that's a terrible Cowboys.
Coming off of last season before re-signing him, like coming off being in MVP contention before this.
Oh,
season,
sure, yeah.
He would have gotten close
if he went to if he tested it. Yeah,
if they would have cracked him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him.
Not to like. So yeah, we're all in the agreements on.
Now, the question is, should they? We say no, but I would like to know if Parsons was like, I want out of Dallas, and what would you be looking to get back for him?
Oh yeah,
first round this year and a round next year, like minimum, and then probably even a third or a fourth next year or this year. Like you have to, if you're gonna let that guy go, because these first round picks are never guaranteed, and it would have to be a team with like a top 10 pick.
Are you
like it wouldn't be a first round in like a 28th pick in the first round. It'd have to be like a top 10.
Now,
the Cleveland Browns would have to want to trade, or like the New York Giants. Other than that, I just don't think it's worth it, because the draft at the end of the day, you're still gambling.
Yeah,
you know what you're going to get from Micah. You saw what its defense was this year without him on the field. It was noticeably worse. So if you are going to get rid of him or let him go, you need to at least be able to throw a couple darts at the board with first round picks.
You're adding another first round pick to your repertoire. You're not swapping.
Yeah.
You're not swapping.
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
I want top 10 pick, maybe even top 5 this year. Still have the 12th pick.
Yep.
And then I want probably a third this year, and then a first next year. Otherwise, fucking pound sand. Well, because he's just too good. You can still build a defense around Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and he had this year he had his best pace for sacks per game.
Totally. Yeah. And I know, like, I was kind of sour on Micah a little bit going into 2024, and then he got hurt, and I was like, but he showed leadership this year. He really did. He seemed like he gave a fuck. He wanted to play. He was really trying to get to the postseason. And then on top of that, everything he's saying right now makes sense. And he played well when he was playing. So I honestly think you sign him as soon as possible right now.
Yeah, and I mean it honestly would make the most sense, get him signed before free agency. If he's going to give us that sweetheart deal, then you do it. And maybe the deal's more like, okay, hey, instead of 5 years, sign me for 4, but I'll take 30 million instead. And then if things aren't changed by then, we can start talking about a trade in 2 years or something like that.
Well, but look at those stats. If you looked at that and you just covered up the column of games played, his stats, although they're lower in 2024, they look pretty much on par with his full season stats.
Had you extrapolated that 13 games to 17 games, he would have had the most sacks and probably the most forced fumbles too, by like maybe 1. So what's nice to see is he's not just having these early good seasons. He's been very consistent throughout all of his seasons. I do want to see like 16, 17 sack season though.
Yep.
Coming up with
how old's he right now? 24, 25?
25 years old. Born in
he's 25. Like he's still got lots of good football left in him, man.
Born in 99.
And let's keep in mind too, 2022, 2023, 2024, I believe, if I have this right, different defensive coordinators.
Yeah. Well, he's had Dan Quinn.
Oh, sorry. No,
just Dan Quinn and Zimmer.
Right.
So this year will be his third.
He came in with DQ. So this year will be his third. So, anyways, it's just nice to see that he can work in those different environments too. If you are looking to trade Micah or sign him, those things need to happen before free agency, because if you do anything after the fact, any of the benefit from that move is going to be missed because now, okay, you have the extra money or you have the extra picks, which you could use to trade for player in free agency as well. Okay, now you're just fucking waiting till next year again. And like the Cowboys did last season.
I mean, I know,
with two players.
With two players.
I definitely don't want to see them go like from like Micah to like a Myles Garrett. Like I don't want to see that type of trade
It's a
either.
sideways step. Unless you end up with more capital.
Yeah. Sorry. You could take a Myles Garrett plus you get all of these additional picks. I mean, it can work out in your favor. Backtracking, because I just want to unless you guys want to say one more thing about Micah Parsons.
Oh, go for it. I think I've said everything he needs to hear.
I fucking said it. So Margis in chat said, as an Eagles fan, we laughed at Dakota's comments today. Did you guys see everything that was going on with Dak's comments and how people are like spinning it and kind of taking it?
I mean, why wouldn't he? The comments essentially him saying that the Eagles won and now the Cowboys, it's their time to rise up. I mean, as a guy coming off a season-ending injury, what else is he supposed to say? Really? Yeah. Oh yeah, I can't wait to get back and get dog walked by the Commanders and the Eagles. No, he should expect to come back and win the Super Bowl. I want my starting quarterback to expect to win a Super Bowl if it happens, which it hasn't, but I still want him to feel that way. So I don't mind the comments, and he has taken quite a bit of heat from it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I agree. I watched. I didn't even know what was going on. Like I didn't even see it, but I ended up seeing Law Nation break it down and talk about it. And you kind of hit the nail on the head too, Anth. Like if he didn't say anything, or if he was kind of like all right about it, it's like we're gonna call him soft, and this is a weak quarterback. But he comes out, and if you look at his record against the Eagles or the NFC East teams, it's a better record. So outside of this year. And you hear Eagles fans, and they're obviously laughing. You're coming off; they just won the Super Bowl, and Dak says that, so maybe the timing's a little bit bad. But yeah,
I would laugh too if I was an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's again, what else is he? But Kyler Gaming saying he could have said nothing, but people would also.
We gotta fight for your team, Dak.
I don't know.
60 million quarterback.
Let's see.
And I need the context of like the question and how he said it. Obviously, a reporter was asking him questions. So what in the situation where he was asked a question, I'd like to know what else he should say. So I don't hate it.
Alex is going to bring it up. R2J2 says it wasn't that they will be competitive with the Eagles and Commanders. It is that they are better than them and will be in the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, I think that's paraphrasing a little bit.
1 sec.
Oh, sorry, Wage.
No problem. I just want to.
You want to make sure.
Oh, you actually have what Dak said.
Yeah,
you have a clip of it. Okay, let's hear it.
First, I like us to talk about it.
Yep.
And then we'll listen to what it.
And then
then I'll look stupid and because Dak's gonna make me look like an idiot.
I mean, I feel like we compete with the Eagles and beat them for the most part when we played them. I don't want to say check the record when they're the guys holding the trophy right now. So credit to them, they've earned it and they deserved it by all means. But yeah, very close, especially even watch the NFC game, the NFC Championship, and those two teams that we battle against each and every year a couple of times. And as I said, feel confident about we've gotten a better part each and every time. To see it in such a dominating fashion, credit to them. It's our turn and it's on us. All right.
I honestly don't think that's bad. Call me a Dak rider. And this is the thing. The Cowboys did beat the Commanders this year with Cooper Rush. The Cowboys almost beat the Commanders a second time with Trey Lance and lost on the last second play. So I don't think there's much to say about that. Dak Prescott has literally owned the Commanders. And like he said, it's kind of funny to say it after the Eagles are raising a Super Bowl. But what else is the dude supposed to say? Oh, yeah, I'm going to bow down and bend the knee to the fucking Eagles and the Commanders? No, I'd rather my quarterback say this right now and go out there and see what we got. But I don't think there's too much to laugh at, but I could completely understand why Eagles fans are laughing at it. They're holding the trophy right now, and Dak said that it's their turn. So it is funny as an Eagles fan.
Yeah, and look, maybe that's the motivation that he likes. There are some times where you like to put yourself in a corner, so you got to fight out of it. And maybe he's looking to be like, look, this is the mentality I have moving forward. I don't mind it at all. I think he was respectful enough. It is difficult after the fact when one of your main rivals is hoisting the Lombardi.
And he's at a children's
Bad
cancer,
timing.
and he's at a children's cancer fund thing, and everyone's just ripping him. They're just asking him about this question here. It's like, let the guy just be at a charity event.
The funniest would be if it was the question was just like, well, how's your off season been? And that was like his response just totally trailed off.
Exactly. We didn't necessarily hear the question, but I'm sure it was specific. The thing is, too, he's the face of the Cowboys. He's got to say something. He can't just say, oh, well, they played well and congrats to the Eagles. Like, what do you – I'd rather have him come out there and say, I feel like we can beat this team if we are, playing our – if we're playing our top football, we can win.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
Isn't any competitor going to say something?
They better.
You're not going to be like, man, the Eagles are dominating, and I just hope that they lose a bunch of free agents next year so that we can beat them.
I hope my leg stays off the bone for next season because I definitely don't want to play the Eagles.
A completely different sport and competition because it's one-on-one. But think about UFC all the time. Like these guys will say they'll get knocked out and be like, was that video of maybe one of you guys said from like years ago at the Ultimate
Fighter guy? He gets
the guy's
knocked
like,
out.
Asks him to get knocked out. He knocks him out, and he's like, "Yeah, he hits hard, but I wasn't knocked out." It's like
cut to him and he's totally out.
He's snoring, like he's snoring, and it's he's like completely refusing to acknowledge that he got knocked out. For us as fans, we'd be like, "Dude, you're being dumb," but also that's a good competitive edge, being like, "I can never lose. Even if I lose, I'm not losing." And of course,
remember it. I don't remember it.
No, oh man, it's funny.
I'm just gonna.
I mean the guy. I don't remember it. I refuse to remember it.
But like that type of thing, if you have skill, it's a good thing. If you don't have skill, then you're just arrogant or you're just people aren't gonna stupid. Exactly.
I'm gonna just hit these 4 comments in chat. Kyler Gaming says textbook leadership stuff. We just don't want to hear it now. We want to hear it in August when we can have a little hope. We have 6 months of hell to go through first.
For truth. Very
true.
I
respect that. That's a great comment, honestly.
He ain't wrong. Jenkins Gaming says, it's sad that this is brought up, shows just how much the Cowboys are #1 in sports. Damn Jerry making the money.
Yep.
Brent Packer guy says, my take is Dallas is a year or 2 away. You have parts, not just good parts, but great parts. Oh shit, my thing went. You just have a lot of critical point failures, if you know what I mean. And then R2J2 says, better answer would have been congrats to them, and I am looking forward to getting back to playing against them. Nothing about past records. Also not wrong.
Hey, that's why chat's real. Chat. Yep. I mean, I'm biased. I'm biased. I see Dak say it, and everyone gets on him, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's that bad. But everybody in the comments is making really good points.
Yeah, Ant's in a hostage room right now, and Dak Prescott's off screen right now with the guy. And he's like, "You say it, Ant. You say it. You tell them, Ant."
And he's just flogging his dolphin in front of him.
Those big floppy feet.
Yeah.
I will smack those feet in your face. Okay, boys.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, look.
Are we doing it?
Look at the lower thirds. Dun 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 dun.
Let's go.
Dun dun dun.
Now I think
the draft. Do any of you guys have the draft sound keyed up?
Nope.
Hang on.
AJ can get it though. AJ can
put you on the spot.
AJ.
While I'm doing this, Adam, give him a recap of last year. How many drafts we did, and maybe.
Well, I didn't have.
I think we did 15.
Yeah, we did 15. Actually, when I brought it up, it said mock draft 10, which we did more. We did 10. Way more than 10.
Yeah, there's more than there. We were in the high teens.
There we go.
There it is.
We have to actually get
Draft
that.
Season.
We'll actually get that as a soundbite here.
Yes.
Anth, could you hear that?
I did, yeah.
Oh, because
I picked it up
from
loud
your computer.
and clear.
Okay, well, pull up the simulator here. We're using PFF as we do.
And sorry, let's also every single week, and I don't know what we're going to establish as the rules, but as the weeks go on, we start to tend to add other rules and situations. This is just what's the rules for tonight's mock draft?
This is what we want. This is our very first draft. This is what we want as Cowboys fans. Yeah. I think that's the best rule. We'll dive in because you can't if we're doing 14 mock drafts, we can't pick Ashton Ginty every fucking time.
No.
So we will eventually add a spin wheel or like we have to make a trade in the first, shit like that. But V1, mock draft V1, CanFan 2025. We're picking who we think's the best player at the spot.
Okay, and we're not going to play roles, right? We're not going to play any roles just yet.
No, I think this one we leave open, and then we'll start adding on after we start to kind of get to the point where we're not seeing the changes that we need to see for our picks. Now we'll start adding on the fun, a little bit of the fun stuff, and usually that happens, I believe, around like number 3 or 4.
Okay.
It doesn't take long. It doesn't take long.
Because as we do continue to draft, they're going to start adjusting our board too. So we might have a couple just like updated what we want drafts. But yeah, we'll add some fun stuff on. Also, any recommendations from chat as to kind of what we should do for a draft. We have to make 3 trades. We have to trade our number 1 overall pick. We have to
trade Micah Parsons. We got to draft these positions. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff we do that we'll be doing. But for this one right now, first draft, it's open. And what I really want to know, we'll do 7 rounds, dudes. Yep.
And Adam, have you been playing around with these settings at all? Do you go full public? Do you go full PFF? I've been doing a lot of middle.
I go like 40% public.
Okay.
40% public. So like right about there.
I go a little bit.
Right about there.
I go one down. I mean, we could go 40% like that. I usually go right about there. Yeah.
I think that's good too.
I think the reason I would want to start 50-50 is it's a fair mix of them both.
Yep.
But I don't change any of these other settings because I think that those make sense. You would care for
mess around with any of the other ones.
Yeah, you would draft for your need. The only one that I might adjust would be that one, but for this one we can discuss that because I think drafting for need might be a little less if we want the BPA to go.
Right.
But you know what? These are things that we'll figure out as we go, and maybe we'll manipulate it.
Hang on.
What? Oh, you're gonna get a crack 'em? Good man. Good man.
Me too.
So those settings look good for you guys here.
Crack 'em if you got him. This mock draft is sponsored by Drip.
Drip. You got to drip those picks.
Crack 'em if you got them.
So our first mock draft of the 2025 season, 7 rounds. Dallas
Are you going to go full speed too? Are you going to go full speed, or do we want to see?
I'll go slow for the first round, and then whenever
and then speed it up.
Yeah,
you can now actually tip it up to turbo, which is nice.
Turbo screwed me up the first time I did. So there's no rules here. Chat, yell out who we should grab if we don't get to you, boys. We're doing like 30 of these this year, so there's going to be tons of time to get your says in. But please be active. We're going to kind of, if we can't decide on something, we might go to chat for the tiebreaker.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, do we want to do any?
Well, let's discuss right now before we start. What are you guys? What do you guys? Who's the player that you guys want with the 12th pick?
I mean, we could just get it out of the way. Go with Giante if he's there.
To me, if he's there, I'm taking him every time.
Yep. Second,
I'll say this though. I will say this though. I don't think he's going to be there at 12. Not in this draft. He probably will be.
Right.
I do not think there's a chance he's at 12
in the actual
draft. So I'm going to take him. It's like us drafting Bijan a couple of years ago at like 20 something. We took him a couple times. I'll take Giante because I think he's the BPA at 12. But maybe it'll be funny and maybe he will be gone in this draft.
But the thing with Bijan is we knew he wasn't going to be there. There is a possibility that Giante is going to be there at number 12.
Not according to a lot of people. A lot of people mocked. A lot of people that do this professionally for livings had Bijan going to the Dallas Cowboys. So we'll see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. Tons of people. People thought Jamar Gibbs was going to be a second round pick, and then 2 running backs went in the top 15.
And then
so you can't tell, like, a guy that's just equally as generational, and I know that term gets like loosely thrown around, as Bijan or Jamar Gibbs. There's no fucking way. I just don't see it.
Jenkins Gaming says Bears or Niners are going to take him. Man,
agreed.
You know, the Bears, both Bears should take him, and the Niners should take him too, based on fucking Christian McCaffrey's. If Giante goes 1 ahead of us,
okay,
fuck. I think he's going to the Raiders. Honestly,
well, let's keep it in mind, because if we get down to if we get down to the Saints, who could also take a running back, by the way.
Right. Who's that Kellen Moore motherfuck?
Well, especially after he saw what Saquon did in his offense.
I don't know.
Guys, I need a running back.
We're just rolling to 12. Let's do it. Let's hit it. Start that
straight
draft.
to 12 turbo, or just let it roll?
Oh no, let's see who
okay, here we go. Starting the draft.
We're starting the fucking draft. Hold hands. Play the music. Or we don't need to play the music. It's only when we're
On our
I'll let you
pick,
guys
on our
hand
pick.
from
Okay.
over here.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
First overall pick is Cam Ward.
Wow.
Second, Travis Hunter to the Browns. Next,
Abdul Carter.
Shedeur Sanders to the Giants.
Wow.
McMillan, wide receiver to the Saints. Mason Graham,
Ooh, I like
defensive
Graham.
interior.
Abdul Carter, the
Abdul
fucking Raiders.
Carter to the Ravens at 6. Sorry, I just paused it because I wanted to. Okay, Raiders at 6. Will Johnson to the Jets, cornerback at 7.
Couple Michigan boys gone in the
Bunch
top
of
7.
Michigan
Wow.
boys. Go blue.
Will Campbell, tackle.
LSU.
Mike Green, run edge. Sorry to the
Edge.
Saints.
He's edging.
Luther Burden, wide receiver. I'm just pausing it
Oh,
real
so
quick. Do we
Luther-
want to go?
Luther Burden went at number 10. Okay.
Well,
There's
we ain't trading with the Niners. Ain't gonna trade with us.
No.
So let's just see. Let's see who these sons of bitches are gonna take.
No, they're gonna take a fucking guard.
James Pierce,
good.
edge.
Guys.
I think we know what we're doing.
I think this is just this is the easiest pick. It's our first draft as Can Fan in 2025. I think we're taking the best player on the board by a mile.
Let's not
Ashton GT, guys.
Let's not hesitate. Let's get it out of the way.
Let's just get him in there.
He's going to be on
Let's
our
get him in
big
there.
board. Absolutely. Welcome
Welcome to the
To the
team. We got him. We got him.
Boys, it feels good to be back.
Feels good to be
Feels
back.
Good to be back.
We
Feels
did
great
it.
to
We
be
did
back.
it for you, chat. We did it for Cowboys Nation. Now, should I speed up or?
Well, I kind of
Yeah, you
just
can
want.
speed up
I
a
don't
little
mind
bit.
seeing who goes because it kind of gives us a second to see if. Now you know, fuck it, speed it up.
Do you
cares
just go
about
up a little bit,
Let's
like
go up
because
a bit.
we're not gonna get any of these guys anyways. So now our next pick,
so
I want to
Buka's
say our
gone.
next pick's 44,
Warren's
and then
gone.
76.
I
So
like.
now we're just rolling through the draft, waiting for that 44th pick, and we're getting into the second round right now, fellas.
But
So
all I'm seeing, sorry, is a bunch of names that I am not familiar enough with, and that's a lot of work to do this offseason.
Well, we're not going to look at any of these guys because between 12 and 44, the majority of these dudes are gone.
okay, so
right?
we're on the clock.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Well,
We're gonna double stack it and we're gonna go Scataboo.
we got to talk about, okay, we now addressed running back. We should have said this before we started.
Right.
What were our biggest needs as Can Fan? I don't care what the Dallas Cowboys are, but as us personally,
Okay.
what do we think our biggest needs are?
So since we've addressed running back with Genty, I don't think we need to go another running back. Had Genty go off the board, I would have been in favor of doing a 2 back in the higher rounds, but I'm fine with going 1 back, wide receiver, and a guard or a tackle. Or I've low key been liking the center pick to kind of switch some stuff around. So those are my top round picks. We've got the running back. I want a wide receiver, and I want an offensive line.
Okay, I want the wide receiver too, but I am really
Bullish?
attracted to a sexy edge rusher. I
Okay.
just think you
Yeah.
can't have enough of them.
Yep.
And if we're willing to trade 2 first-round picks for Garrett, when I see Landon Johnson sitting there,
Jackson?
Landon Jackson, I want him to be a Johnson. But when I see Landon Jackson sitting there, it kind of
It
intrigues
kind
me.
of pulses you. Okay. So, Ants, what do you got?
Edge is always nice. Edge is always a nice pick.
Yeah,
I'm
stud.
just in a believer. Anyone for the amount that the Cowboys need, just second round pick has to be a starter.
Yes.
Edge has a very good chance to start. Oh my
Oh.
God.
What about
Prometheus
fucking
guy.
Mr. Clean, baby?
We looked at him, didn't we?
Yeah, this is the Prometheus dude.
Yeah.
If he's on the Cowboys, he's just named Prometheus.
Yeah,
That's-
Prometheus.
Well, he's
And
6'7",
I like his look.
280. 6'7", 280 pounds. You can't teach that.
He is Prometheus. He's the Prometheus dudes. He's 6'7", 280.
Yeah.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Look at that.
What's his height, weight? What's his 40?
Good span on him.
4'6'8"?
4'6'8". It's in the top 91 percentile.
So he's gonna be a run stuffer. Like he ain't getting in at the quarterback on a rush, just judging by his speed. But you don't need every one of your edge rushers to be a sack machine, right?
No, look, I'm not saying go for him. I did just want to see him. The look intrigued me.
Well, R2J2 saying he's a late first, going to go to KC or the Eagles. He probably. they're saying
Ooh,
he
I
probably,
like to hear late first.
Yeah, he probably won't be there. Is what he's saying.
Well,
Jenkins
but that probably won't be. Will be. He's there right now.
Prometheus. Yeah. Jenkins says edge. We have 2 edges that are better than. So we have 2 edge that are better that was injured this year. So he's talking about DeMarcus Lawrence, and
Lawrence is a free agent.
Lawrence is a free agent.
let him go and pick up Prometheus.
So there's not even a guarantee. There's not even a guaranteed DeMarcus Lawrence is on the team.
Lawrence is a free agent. Sam Williams injured, so he's bouncing back. And who's our other
Micah.
dude? There's Micah. Then there's the other edge, the rookie Neeland.
Which didn't show much.
Didn't show much. So just what they can do, what a defensive end rusher or even fucking run stopper can do is can really make everyone else perform much better. Just given an extra half second.
You could put him. I bet you that at that size too. You could throw him in at tackle on rushing plays.
Oh, he was
For
saying
sure.
Neeland and Sam Williams.
Third and long.
Sam Williams is who he was talking about. Sorry, my bad.
Coming off major knee injury though.
Yeah.
I do. So a guy that I really like is Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame, safety.
Okay.
And that's just another and I know safety is not necessarily a position of need, but I do think he's going to be one of the better players available at that time.
Was he available here?
AJ's looking at wide receivers right now.
I just want us to go through this list of wide receivers to see where they are so that we can kind of, because I think we want to draft a wide receiver. If it's not Restrepo, who we would be reaching a little bit for, the next guy who intrigues me is Isaiah Bond just for speed.
Same with Tez,
Yep.
though. Tez and Isaiah.
Tez Johnson and Jaden Higgins. I believe it's Jaden Higgins.
Which I think we have a chance.
Yeah, he's got some good size.
I think we have a chance at Isaiah Bond in the third.
So let's come back to wide receiver.
I think I would get Isaiah Bond in the third than any of those other guys in the second. I like Xavier Watts is intriguing. I mean, Tyler Booker, guard. I don't think guard's necessarily a need because you have Tyler Smith and worst case, Zach Martin doesn't come back to the Cowboys, but you have Brock Hoffman.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would target guard in the second because I think both starters are possibly already on the team.
And he's a pure left guard by Tyler Booker is a pure left guard.
And
we got one of the best left guards in the NFL.
I don't like the idea of taking a sole one-sided guard if you're gonna draft. I've been liking grabbing guys who've played a couple positions that you could possibly have them cycle through depth, but a lot of those guys, like you said, come at a little bit of a later round.
So we're looking at Xavier Watts right now. He led college football in interceptions in 2024.
Oh yeah, hey,
I like him.
Anth.
Yeah, I know, Ad.
Anth.
I know.
Number 0, Xavier Watts, right?
Yeah, Watts. He was picking me off in our matchup.
Remember when I picked Anth off a couple times?
I think so.
Won me the natty.
For me, I like Watts better as a pick as I think the potential's there. Just purely looking at his photo. Landon Jackson, I think, is a more intriguing pick just with the amount of disruption he can get. Like he has the ability to affect every play because he's going to be closer to the football, whereas Xavier Watts is going to have to wait for it. However, getting a nice secondary back there, if our two young Neeland and Sam Williams do come back and start performing at better than expected play, then that makes more sense. So I'm kind of leaning towards Xavier Watts with Anth here.
Can you? I'm not mad about the pick. Can we just scroll down just a little bit? I just want to see a couple of these other guys who are peeking up here a little bit. Okay, so we got linebacker Carson Schwechenjigger, and then we got Darian Porter, cornerback to tackles.
Jalen Walker. If Jalen Walker's there in the second round, which he won't be, I don't know. I still don't understand what PFF's got going on.
I was gonna say linebacker.
He's the pick.
Okay,
if
so
Jalen Walker somehow falls to fucking 44, he is 100% the pick.
Yeah, I agree.
So do we take Jalen Walker?
I think we take Jalen Walker.
I think we have to, and everyone's gonna say, well, he's not gonna be there, but he is there for us right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's here for us right now,
and
we understand.
Linebacker's a position of need. We need it.
And
we
he
want
plays
it.
edge.
Hey,
let's do it. We're taking Jalen Walker,
which I 100% do not think he makes it out of the first round.
He's not going to be at this, but in this mock draft, he is, and that's what a mock draft is.
Jalen Walker, welcome to the team.
Jalen, welcome Walker.
I love that we did all this talk about other guys, and then we see Jalen Walker, and it's like, because I just don't expect him to be there.
No,
hey, bro,
so I didn't think he was even going to be on the list.
Bro.
Another guy that was there was Dylan Sampson, Tennessee running back, real burner, probably one of the fastest guys in this draft class. Would be an intriguing pick if we don't, in fact, get Giante at 12?
What I like though is we picked Jalen Walker
Xavier
at
Watts went
44. Xavier Watts went 45. Another linebacker at 46. So Falcons probably would have taken Walker then. Actually, this Schweschinger was ranked higher, but in reality. And then Scatterboo at 48 and Lando Jackson at 49.
Prometheus. Call him by his name.
Prometheus, I'm sorry.
Don't be disrespectful. Jenkins Gaming says Walker goes top 10.
Yeah.
They're if not top 10, like top 20.
Top 12? If he's there at 12, do you take him?
I don't understand. I wouldn't hate it.
If Giante's
gone, like I expect him to be gone by 12, I would 100% be happy with the Cowboys taking Walker. And I'm on Twitter record saying that. So
Trayvon Henderson just went to the Patriots. We're not looking at other running backs.
Henderson gone. He would be a good for the Patriots. That'd be a nice combo.
Oh, Judkins went to the Niners.
Fellas.
Okay.
Fuck with me, boys. I'm looking. I know we're looking at wide receiver, AJ, and I know you want wide receiver.
Gunnar Helm, tight end right there. I like that pick. I know we didn't even talk about tight end. He's on the board. Consideration.
Just a consideration. Also, don't hate at the top pick there. Like we're looking at. You also have. Let's look at Gunnar Helm here. Let's get a little.
Let's want a visual. Here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a bro.
He smokes weed.
Oh yeah. He definitely owns Bitcoin, 100%.
Crypto.
So they have him lifted.
Yeah, he's a crypto. Yeah, no, sorry, he doesn't have Bitcoin. He has some
sort of
or something.
E3.
Oh yeah, it's like Moom coin.
Yeah,
not moon. It's Moom.
Moom coin. Totally. Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bipcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Gunnar Helm. They say he's 238. Let's round up to 240 here.
That is a little on the lighter side, don't you think, for a tight end?
It is, unless
what's wrong there? It's he's 250 on PFF. He's 238 on Draft Buzz.
Regardless,
let's give him 240. Let's give him 240.
Let's give him 240.
Give him 240, and then with the NFL training regimen, he's gonna go. He'll be 250, no problem.
So they're even showing it in his measurables that his weight is low.
His weight is low, but he is an inline blocking tight end, and so that is a little concerning with his weight. But again, the easiest thing to do, I think, for an NFL player is put on weight, muscle as well. Give me 3 months. I'll get up to 230.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll get up to 230 pounds.
I would love an AJ at 230, but like a yoked 230.
Yeah.
We're just feeding.
I can get
same size neck and heads though.
He drinks 4 protein shakes a day, and he just always has beef jerky on him.
And I'm always doing. Hey,
you want to bite? You want to slay? But his voice gets way deeper.
Yeah.
And I get like weird sparse like neck hair. No, I don't grow any more facial hair. It's just all in my neck. And yeah, I do burpees all the time.
Does it say what Royals runs? Asked Jenkins Gaming.
Royals?
Yeah, like what's his run?
What's
his 40?
Jalen Royals is the other guy that we're gonna look at. Yeah, that's right.
Which I don't hate a wide receiver here.
No,
I'm down. Wide receiver than tight end.
So when I'm saying wide receiver, it is true. I'm thinking about a wide receiver, but I'm also into a guy if Gunnar Helm fits the mold, obviously Travis Kelce type of receiver. You just need a little bit of blocking with the tight end for them to be really, really effective, right? Or a Gronk style actually would be the best. I know he's a Mount Rushmore tight end, so like that's an easy thing to say, but that's what I'm talking about is a guy who can go out there and catch, and let's put some pressure on Ferguson. I don't mind that, but let's have a look at what Jalen Rose here looks like. Okay,
Marge says Dallas is 1 tight end away from a Lombardi. Laughing emoji.
Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, Mark.
Yeah,
fuck you, Mark.
You dickhead.
Fuck you, dickhead.
That was funny. Yeah, like the tight end's gonna change.
Oh wow, Royals is a fucking burner, boys.
4.38.
He's
Royals
fast.
Is an absolute burner.
6 foot. Defensive ratings a little bit higher. We like to see that overall rating in the 70s, but again, competition could really affect that. His most comparable players are Malachi Corley, Jalen Polk, who the fuck is that? Navontae Walker. So I don't know.
What's his? Give me his top pro in the scouting report and his top.
Yeah, top pro, top weakness. Let's get him.
Okay, top pro, top strength here. Verified track speed translates to the field with a blazing 4.38. consistently stacking corners vertically and creating separation on deep routes. It sounds like
Me
something that we
likey.
could use.
Yep.
His weakness
likey.
here, limited experience against elite competition, having played exclusively at the group of 5 level with just 1 season of significant production. Not too concerned about that with a guy who is fast and can catch a football.
Can't teach speed. Yeah, I'd be more concerned if his top weakness was can't catch.
Can't catch.
Yeah.
Or he was a quarterback.
Yeah, like
Right.
I don't mind. I mean, they do say like his route tree. I was just glancing there.
Oh,
It said
sorry.
his route tree isn't. No, it's fine. You can go from it, but his route tree isn't the
Underdeveloped.
greatest. But
I don't
yeah, but you
care
can-
about that either. The struggles
you
that
can
with
teach that.
struggles with physicality is a little bit concerning, but that's, I mean, again, you get crack him if you got him.
Crack him if you got him, son.
So-
Get him in, you kid.
So we're in a-
Jenkins Gaming says Royals is a number 2 on this team,
okay,
Let's get him.
Let's get him. Let's bring him on.
I like Royals.
but there is no other wide receivers below because we're just looking at like the first 3 guys. Okay, just wanted to.
Well,
I also
Isaiah
like just
Bond.
for a few-
Oh, Isaiah
Ooh,
Bond's
is
there.
Let's look at Bond. We have to. We
Bring
have
up
to.
Bond.
We have to.
Bond
We
is
have to look at him.
Bond is a guy who I just is so fucking intriguing. He's actually 5'11", not terribly small for what we're seeing wide receivers.
Give me his
perform at.
draft buzz.
Yeah, that's what really matters.
He basically
Give
played.
me his-
He basically played number
like
2
his
to
luck.
basically played number 2 to Golden, so he is familiar with that number 2 position, right?
And he's a
Look at that
4.28.
40, boys. Look at that 40. He's the
4.28.
fastest. He's the fastest player in this draft class.
Yeah, that would be nice to have someone that could take the top off.
And if we're just talking about pure speed, like if we liked Royal speed, well, we got someone that's even faster.
He's
Right.
only 1 inch smaller. I'm leaning toward Boyd. Let's see. Our next pick would be down to the Colts at 80, which would put us into a place where we could get
Bondy.
Bond.
Or we trade and we lose out on both.
Or we trade and we lose out on both. Exactly.
Hey, you know what? Let's try it. Fuck it. Let's trade.
Hey, let's
we
boost it,
need
baby.
picks. We need picks, and this might just make us completely have to alter what we're doing. Try it. Just try it. No, try it. Let's see what they want to do. They want to tango.
They took
There
it.
you go.
They fucked with us.
They took it. Hey, AJ, you always throw the feeler out.
Woo!
I
Yeah, no, it's true.
AJ wants to
I don't
stack him
care
and
if it's
cash him.
8%. That's 18%. That's why you get the 5 tries. You got it.
Yep,
You
yep.
get a chance. See, I like it. Now let's get Bond, hopefully.
Okay, let's see. Is Bond going to go?
Let's see who's taken.
I'm nervous.
Bond off the ball.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
No!
no.
Oh!
We lost both
We
of
lost
them.
both!
Oh, no. Oh,
Oh, well,
no.
doesn't matter. We picked up a pick.
We
And
picked
there's
up a
Tez
pick.
Johnson.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. We said we wouldn't mind Tez. I think we have to. I think
Well,
we take
no,
Tez.
we have to also look at BPA. We can't just now
No,
reach for a
it's fine.
wide receiver because we missed out
Sorry,
on
I thought he was BPA because you had you.
I did. I had
okay.
that. Yeah. We did pick up that extra pick though. I like the trade. Sure, those two wide receivers have that high ceiling potential, but there are other guys here too. It's just how the
Royals
fucking,
gone a pick before us.
I
Yep.
know.
two.
Two
Sons of
Washington.
bitches. How good? Oh my God, that's like the ultimate sting. But how wicked would this trade have been if we would have got Royals and an extra? I wouldn't. Now we got to shift a little bit. Wide
Yep.
receiver was something that we talked about, but defensive tackle or defensive interior is still a very big need on this team. So we got to look at this Alfred Collins, and if he's under 320, I'm not interested.
R2J2 says that's such a Dallas move. Trade back and miss your targeted player.
I know.
Look at this. Look at this dog.
And he
Look
is
at
at
this size.
and
And 320
he
on
is
the
320. Yep. It's a true
6'5", 320, man.
Okay, and he's a Texas boy.
big weight. Got some nice quick feet on him.
Look at his measurables, boys. He is killing it. That's a lot of green. Give us his top strength, top weakness,
Yep.
and let's let's make
draft-
this guy a cowboy. Let's
his-
welcome him to the
His
fucking
draft
team.
projection is second late.
Well,
Prototypical.
that's good.
That's good. A prototypical NFL frame with plus size and anchor to eat spaces in the trenches.
Explosive
that,
get off for his
okay.
size like that.
And raw technician
Hey,
weakness. Raw technician who relies more on brute force than refined hand usage.
I don't
That's
know.
fine.
Is that a weakness?
That sounds good.
It just
Sounds
means
good to me,
that-
right?
That's like a backhanded like strength weakness.
I think when I hear that, I just hear, okay, so the guy's just been living off of his physical talents. Get him in the room with someone who can teach him how to play football.
Hey,
Do I
get it-
dare say we take him?
I say get him on this team.
We need
but
it, man.
Take it.
we need it, and we can't reach for a wide receiver because we need a wide receiver.
I agree.
There could be a guy at 115 available.
We're
or we
waiting.
can trade a couple of these other picks up and see. But I think Alfred Collins, he's the top player on this board. He's a position in need. It's a no-brainer.
Welcome to the team.
Welcome to the team.
Alfred Collins. You've been
Hook 'em,
boosted.
baby.
And look, we did best player available.
Yep. BPA.
Oh, Tej Johnson went immediately after our pick.
Fuck!
Yeah, we knew it.
Tej Johnson was the next pick. So wide receivers are flying off the board, man.
Well, if
We'll
we
just
want
have
to
to
plug,
now-
there
now
goes
we
Trey
just-
Harris. There goes Trey Harris, another wide receiver. I don't know. We keep going. We're 24 picks away.
I think we just roll the dice, man.
I think we're gonna be fucked and not get a wide
Next
receiver.
wide receiver
Hey,
that goes,
hey.
I do want to look at a trade. That's all.
Guys, we're getting
Guys, how do you? This is the
We're getting
thing.
Stephon
How do you know?
Diggs.
We talked about this.
I know.
How do you know we didn't take a wide receiver in free agency?
True.
Maybe we got a cheap Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. No, we
that
will
can
get
come in off a knee injury and help. I'm just saying, there's also that situation, right?
the no need Dig brothers coming back.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we got a guy
Oh,
here.
Hey,
Jalen Knoll.
Jackson Dart.
Jalen
QB.
Knoll from Iowa State.
Yep.
5'11", 200. You know what we got to do, guys.
You know what we got? Yeah, we got to grade
He's not BPA, so we will look at that, but we got to just kind of have a quick look ski.
Oh yeah,
Because I do agree, wide receiver should be addressed in the, I'd say even the top 3 rounds. And maybe we shouldn't have traded back and we should have taken Isaiah Bond.
This is how we're
But
learning.
I like this guy's look.
It's
like
a
it,
mock draft.
broad shoulders.
5'11", 200. He's the 14th ranked wide receiver here on NFL Draft Buzz. Had a
Not terrible.
80 receptions, for almost 1,200 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. Decent. And we look at his measurables, pretty grim. But
Pretty grim.
I also want to say, okay, he's got some grim measurables, but he's out there performing. Is this a guy who's got some heart to him? You know,
I hope so.
we
I really do.
put him up against a Parker Washington, Jermaine Burton, or Jaden Reed in the NFL. And last thing that we're going to do is look at the scouting report. Top strength plus short area quickness translates to sharp cuts and crisp route breaks, creating consistent separation in the short to intermediate areas. And
Okay.
his biggest weakness, lacks prototypical size for boundary work, may struggle to consistently beat press coverage at the next level. If you don't have him running those routes, or if he's just running separation type of routes, I don't know that his size is necessarily going to be the bigger factor, but he didn't really have great speed either. Is it something that we really want to do on this guy, or should we look at some other players?
I think we got to, I think we got to look at some BPA here. At BPA, I think CB has been a position of need. We kind of got dinged out a little bit with CB. Or do we look at trading a couple picks up here?
I think possibly trade, but just look at one guy there for me before you go
Yeah.
trade.
I don't trade does not look good.
Scroll down
Okay.
right there. Jackson Dart, QB, Mississippi. I know. Hey, let's just take a look at him. Look at his
I mean,
measurables.
Could we shake the
Shake it
NFL
up.
world up?
Yeah. Hey, Jenkins Gaming in chat saying look at Dart as well. So he's also saying look at Dart.
It's a great name.
I love his name. Take a look at him on Draft Buzz. I know
I like that I like that more than any of these other guys.
Same
linebacker, we're
But
fine.
Let's get a look see.
Draft Buzz him.
Oh yeah. Sorry, guys.
Let's get
Do
a
you,
look.
do you know who
look
put?
see
Do
here.
you know who put me on him?
Who?
Our boy, Ben Kurt.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't.
Oh,
he
You
didn't.
guys
te-
have
he
a
didn't. He
man
didn't.
crush on
He didn't
that
text.
dude.
He didn't text me about it. But
Real quick.
You should have said he did text you about it.
Real quick
We
sideways
should have just
story.
lied. We should have just lied our way into getting him to reply to our comments.
He has a new video out.
The
It
eye
was just
tracker?
short- the eye
Yeah,
tracker,
that's
which
crazy.
I've been waiting for, because I'm always watching these guys play Madden or CFB, and I'm like, okay, this is fine, but I don't.
How do they?
What,
how are
what
they
are you
processing
looking
it?
at?
I know.
And when
Oh, so it shows what he's looking at.
Oh,
as
yeah,
the
It
videos.
red circles
that's
it the
cool.
whole time, and he's more excited that it's actually doing it. It's really good. I just watched it today too.
it was
Oh, it actually goes. That's
on
fucked
his
up.
video,
How do they do that?
it shows where he's looking. So he's like,
Crazy.
he sees a guy running up whatever, I guess a flag route, and you see his eyes look in the route, quickly check the that he's not being rushed, and then he looks back. It was just really cool because now I'm like, okay, this is how I'm playing football right. Because I'm doing the same thing. I'm looking at the coverage and not really checking my my rush too much.
And then you look, and then just looking purely at rush.
Purely rush.
So
Yeah.
but
Hey.
national championship.
National championship.
My God.
There's
Look
my guy.
at this fucking guy.
Jackson Dart.
I don't know, man. Third ranked Jackson Dart with a fucking. I think out of the players that we have there,
He is probably the best
it's
pick.
interesting. He's not a starter. He's not a starter.
I can't wait to be a darty.
I can't wait to be a Darty.
A dirty darty.
A dirty Dart. Look at. I mean, he's green, blue, blue.
Okay, it's round 4, guys. We've picked potentially 3 starters. Do we go with Dart?
It's a safe pick.
Let's do it.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fucking
Let's make
Let's
Dak
do it.
sweat
Welcome
a
to
little
the
bit.
team.
Welcome to the team.
Jackson
Bring that
Dart.
fucking stupid headband onto the team.
Get on the team and take off your pants. Let's have a look at that size.
He's got a cute little dick band around his.
So the trade that we made notched us Jackson Dart and Alfred Collins. Not the guys that we wanted, but potentially dudes who are going to make a big difference on the team. And maybe not this year for Jackson Dart, but
get him behind and get him to develop.
yeah,
We have a lot of back end picks here, fellas. I wonder if we try to, at this point, not pick at 150 right away. See if we can trade a couple of these 170s and move up to a higher pick. I really think the Cowboys need to trade up.
Okay, I like that. So, well, we could
Find something right around, try 159.
How about this?
And then
I'm just going there we go. Likely accepted.
No, hang on a sec. Oh,
We could trade basically our
right.
no, do 170, do 188 and 228. See what happens.
12%.
Try it. Fuck it.
No.
Okay, do 175. You had 175 and
Yeah,
That one has a 96% chance. Like we're gonna.
Yeah,
get
but
this
what
one.
about 175 and 220?
yeah, but
and
look at
228?
188 and 211. Like, there's nothing's gonna happen in that area.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get this trade. So let's.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
you-
just do it.
just move up. Yep.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah,
but
we got a pick at 159.
I thought he had 188 and 211, and we could have got 211 and see. Look at that. Try that one, because then we retain.
Actually,
Okay.
that's probably that's
Yeah,
actually
try that
probably a
one.
better trade. I like that better, actually.
Yeah, and then
Good
we
call
keep our
out.
175.
Oh, they
fucking
didn't take it.
take
Those
it.
fucking
fucking-
cunts.
you fucking
So try
bitches.
175 and 218 or 228 and see what they.
There we go.
They,
Okay.
hey, they drove a hard bargain. I did like that though.
Yeah.
Good eyes.
Thank
Good
you.
eyes.
Okay.
Fuck you, Chargers.
So we traded some picks
they-
down. We could do it again too if you wanted.
Okay, what's the wide receiver action here though? At the
Yeah, maybe let's
150?
let's see what are you thinking, AJ?
Let's try that.
No,
188.
wait. Before you try that, do 211 or do 188 and next year's round 7.
No.
Okay. But fuck it. I'd rather move up and get some guys in the
Yep.
in the 5th than have a 7th round pick. So
Yep.
fuck it.
R2J2
Let's
says,
try it.
I would agree with the trade up coming after best player at a position of need would be smart at this point.
Okay.
Jenkins Gaming
I
says,
like what we
is
did.
Kobe,
I like what we
Bryant
did
still there?
So what's nice now, guys, is in the next 22 picks, we have 5 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
So
good.
I think that's
And
good.
fuck a 7th round
Fuck
pick.
a 7th round,
Yeah, dude.
especially when you're moving up.
look at how fucking we have an entire draft right here in these next.
I know. We do. Okay, so let's.
This is where we just need to find one starter out of these next
Yep.
5 picks. That's all you need. One starter out of these next 5.
So Mitchell
So
Evans.
we're looking at tight end Mitchell Evans out of Notre Dame, 6'5". I think
260.
he was 260. Let's take a little look.
Yeah, looks like a
Dork.
fucking dork.
Dorked up. That's nice.
Dork.
Hey, I like my tight
All
end
right,
dorky.
did you try restarting it?
Did you try powering it off? Sometimes people say it's the person between the keyboard and the computer.
I don't know. I can't zoom. What's going on here?
6'5" though, good size. It's
Okay.
260. I like that size better than Gunnar Helm. Both look like dorks, but like the size with
Oh,
Mitchell a little bit better.
he's like Luke, the Schoon maker, Isaiah Likely, and Kate Otten.
That's what it said.
I just don't know if I'm still not sold on tight end. I'm not. I think unless you guys think he
No.
could be, unless
Oh.
he's better than Schoonmaker, I don't want to take him.
The only other guy here then in this position is this Quincy Riley, and he is dog shit fucking
Degraded.
stats.
He degressed in 2024.
Which we're also, I mean, here when we do the fan drafts, we're also not fans of guys who digress.
No.
Crack me if you
I
got
like
him.
the look.
Crack me if you got him. I think we got to go for this fucking tight end, man. Like,
Yeah, but bring him on. Fuck it. We got lots of picks left.
Can I just go down? Just who's at 150, the 159 area that we're possibly looking at? Oh, there's my boy Seth. There's my boy Seth McLaughlin.
We can't reach for any of these
No,
guys.
I know. No, absolutely. No reaching.
Here you got to go BPA and tight end, sure. Bring him into the clone zone version 2.0.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's get him. Welcome to
go.
the team.
Mitchell Evans, welcome to the team.
Welcome to
I
the team.
haven't been doing this. I will get back to
You
it.
dorky looking son of a bitch.
We'll get it on the sound bites so we can just hit it.
So we're in that same place now.
We could get Quincy Riley if we wanted now.
We gotta.
I'll be back in a second.
No, I still think so.
We got the QB. We don't need.
I'm just bringing this up. Seth McLaughlin, he's a straight center, and he was a center for Ohio State. He could possibly allow us to move BB over.
But why would you want to move BB over? He had a.
Yeah.
He's a good center.
Totally. I'm just thinking of depth depth on the line. Like, what if we don't have anybody with the right guard?
Depth is good. I don't like a guy who's played one position for depth.
True. Agreed. Something telling me Seth McLaughlin's going to be good.
You just like him. Well,
yeah, I like
You
him.
know what we got to do?
Yeah, take him, bring him up.
We got to bring him up. What am I doing here?
Yeah, looks like a fucking lineman.
Looks like a fucking big boy. 39th ranked O-line, but there's 5 positions in that. He's pretty average in terms of height, weight, 40. Got a good overall rating. And he's most comparable to Juice Scruggs, James Empey, and Luke Wattenberg. And if you know any of those players, that must be good because
they only name them.
Well, you don't. Most people don't really know names of offensive linemen besides the guys that are on their team, right? But let's have a look at his scouting report. Exceptional strength, exceptional football IQ, consistently identifies and communicates blitz pickups and stunts to offensive line. Scouting report weakness, inconsistent snap location, particularly when faced with head-up rushers leading to timing disruptions and occasional fumbles. Now, here's the thing. BB did go from guard to center. Am I right?
Yes.
So, bringing this guy in, if he's a center but has the same body as a guard, okay, can he
switch over to a guard?
Could he?
Well, like ideally, so we lose. Let's say we lose Zach Martin.
Yeah, Brock Hoffman's next.
Brock Hoffman's next, or would BB fit better over there? I'm just thinking.
I wouldn't same. So the same.
And I agree. And I agree with you. Like, look, potentially being a fucking center, it almost could be harder than being a guard. So could this guy who's potentially only played center, can he be a positional person on the guard side? Totally agree with you.
Yeah, no. I think the center is the harder position to play. If BB's already locked it in and showing that he's competent, drafting a center is fine.
But now you also have the offensive line coach who actually was coaching BB at Kansas State, who's on the Cowboys team. Is he going to want to have?
But it'd be the same question that I would ask. Like, okay, Tyler Smith came on and started at tackle and found himself in guard. Would you now want to draft a guard to shift him out to tackle? Obviously, that doesn't make as much sense because we drafted Tyler Guyton. So
we get Ants back in here. I don't know what happened to him. There he is.
Bring that little sexy son of a bitch back.
I don't know if he's. Oh no, he's.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wear AirPods and they die, and then for some reason it cuts my camera out. I don't really understand.
Hey, Apple bro. So we're just talking about Seth McLaughlin. Alex put him up there.
Yeah, no, I heard it. I was listening. I hate center right now. I honestly hate it.
Right.
Here's the big problem with us.
And just for the fact, I mean,
did we lose you again?
Hello, Anth?
We can hear. I mean, okay, we'll keep going here.
The problem right now that we're facing is we have 2 defensive interiors in Sherman Turner, CJ West, a cornerback in Quincy Riley who doesn't look very good, a quarterback and then Seth McLaughlin in our next 5 top BPA players.
Okay, bring up the defensive interior up at the top then. Like having more linemen is not necessarily a bad thing. Ugh.
6'4", 300. He's light.
Okay, was that guy fucking injured or something? Like what happened? Like why did he digress so much?
Well, you don't like to see it. Shermer Turner from Texas A&M, the 30th ranked defensive lineman, 6'4", 300. Sorry, fairly average in all of his measurables. Really, really low shuttle. He's not very good on his left to right movements. Most comparable to Zach Pickens, Viliamo Fioco, and Braden Fisk. Sorry. Strengths, exceptional first step quickness off the snap, allowing him to consistently disrupt plays in the backfield and penetrate gaps effectively. Top weakness, needs to expand the pass rush repertoire with more refined moves and counters to consistently win against NFL caliber.
I don't like him.
Linemen. I don't like him either.
Okay, let's skip him.
Skip him. Quincy Riley, we looked at. He's just got dog shit metrics.
Yeah.
And his size ain't good enough.
No. So give me CJ West.
Hang on. Let me give one more look-see at him at Quincy Riley because we could utilize a cornerback. He's the 29th ranked overall. Had the most interceptions, -3. Oh, yards.
Anth, can you hear us? And we can hear we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, you guys just take it. You guys take it. You guys are doing well. I've taught you boys well. Don't mess up this draft in the last 3 drafts. We're counting on you, boys.
We're counting on you, boys. I think Tyler. I'm looking at Tyler Cooper here. 6'6", 310 guard. He's got the best.
Okay, you like him? Take him. I like him too. I like a guard.
Well, before I fucking
got to see him.
I got to see what this guy looks like. Tyler Cooper, nice. He's got that.
Kind of looks like Cooper Beebe. Kind of looks like Zach Martin a little bit.
He's tall. He's got nice comparables to Zach Zinter, Walter Rouse, and Henry Bain-Valu, who the fuck that is. I think we just got to go BPA, to be honest. We do have the defensive interior, though. That's what's really pushing me back. Should we just go fucking Tyler Cooper?
I like Tyler Cooper. Take out Tyler Cooper.
Okay, we're going Tyler Cooper, guard. I mean, we're going to end up... Here's a shitty thing. We're going to end up with any of these guys as well. So we might as well take CJ West. Let's see. Oh, CJ West. That might be the dude.
Well, that's what I asked you to. I thought that's who. I thought you brought him up, and you said he was dog shit. Well, maybe I wasn't listening because the answer was on there.
No.
Oh,
no,
CJ West. That's our guy. He's big boy.
He's big boy. He's good against the run.
He had some greens and blues, which is what we like to see.
Blues. Initial burst off the snap catch can. Initial burst off the snatch can catch interior linemen off guard, and scouting report weaknesses, significant snap reaction issues, consistently late off the ball despite aligning over the center. You know what? Let's give him a work in progress. Yeah. Let's bring on CJ West. Okay,
take CJ West. Let's go. Welcome to the team.
Now we've got 2 defensive interiors.
Okay,
and we're picking again. I think
we got a linebacker. We don't have. Should we pick a wide receiver? Nope.
We haven't picked a wide receiver yet, but we still got a lot of time. But it doesn't matter if they're already gone, then the next team that wants one's gonna get one. So let's have a look, see here real quick at some of these guys we don't really know too much about. Okay, Chimere Dickey. Good name, 6'1", 195.
Ant says double dipping DT. I like it.
Had to do it, bro. Had to do it. But let me get rid of this. Let's go BPA again. I mean, we're looking at DI, CB, QB, tight end.
I don't want Quincy. I'd rather take Tyler Cooper at guard. I don't mind that pick. You brought Tyler Cooper up.
Okay.
I don't mind double stacking a linebacker either.
I think linebacker makes the most sense. We have none, considering Overshown's injured. And we got Cody Simmons here, the 12th ranked overall, 6'2", 235, like his He's got a 4.5 40.
Yeah, he's fast.
Real fast, real good vertical. He can hop up there. I think this is our boy, dude.
Okay. Hey.
I think this is our boy, Edrin Cooper, Nolan Smith, and Channing Tindall. Not Channing Tatum.
Yeah. Hey, they put Edrin Cooper up there. I'm liking it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
And Ant says we got a wide receiver in free agency anyways.
That's right. That's right. We got the wide receiver in free agency. We're going Cody Simmon, picking up another linebacker, just stacking.
So we have 2 more picks after this, right?
3 more. Oh, yeah, 2 more. Yeah.
Oh,
you're right.
Tyler Cooper. The Eagles picked up Tyler Cooper. That was our guard. You sold me on Tyler Cooper.
I didn't want him. I did not.
I know you didn't want him.
I did not want him, though.
I know. You sold me on him, though. Okay. Johan Monahan, another center, so we won't look at him. So.
Oh, yeah. No. Now, this guy I do like. He's played center, left tackle, right tackle.
This is the guy that you brought up. Okay.
Yes, this guy I like. This is a guy. So
he's a journeyman. He's up in the upper echelon, right?
I just feel like a dude. So he's 6'5", 310. He's played over his since 2022, anyways. What they're showing us here. Yes, he's digressed, but I think some of the reason is he started out in 2022 playing right guard and mostly right tackle. Then he moved to left tackle in 2023, and then he moved to center in 2024. Yeah. And he even has a little bit of right guard experience in 2023 as well. So he's just seems like he would be a guy who's nice and versatile on the Lions. I say we take him.
Kyler Gaiman says multi-use player sick, and says Swiss Army knife, love it.
Let's go. Jonah Monheim.
We'll call him Yona. Yona Monheim.
Yona Mon.
Yona Mon, welcome to the team. We didn't even look at him. We didn't even look at what his face was.
Oh, well.
Just give me his face for a second since we're here.
That's fair.
And this is our last pick, so I do want to see what wide receivers are available.
Oh, yeah. We'll go right to wide receiver. It's our last pick. I mean, we've done a lot and picked up a lot of guys who can potentially help.
Oh, yeah. Great pickup. Look at him. He's like a Mach.
That's a Mach. He's got the Mach vibe. Okay, our final pick here in the draft. I don't see any wide receivers, some halfbacks. Let's look at wide receivers.
Let me see some wides.
Pure wide receiver. Oops, get rid of that QB. There we go. So we got Antoine Wells Jr.
Antoine.
Not very good.
No, don't.
6 foot 205.
No, don't even look at him.
Some dog shit metrics. Caden Prather.
Just scroll down the list for a second after we do the first look on this guy. I just want to see if there's anybody that we reckon. Jimmy Horn Jr. He's later. I wouldn't we've seen him do some stuff, not necessarily.
I don't know.
He could be that flyer.
He's Colorado. I know we know his name because he's on Colorado. I don't. Really
That's what I'm saying. That's the only guy I know in this late round.
I say we just go best size. Caden Prather, 6'3", 210. Let's have a look at him.
Take a look.
Yeah, just one more double check here. 6'0", 205. Between these two guys, Antoine Wells and Caden Prather. Chad, if you got someone in mind, let us know quickly here. Caden Prather, 6'3", 210, 29th ranked overall, a wide receiver on NFLDraftBuzz.com.
Is he a speed guy? What's his speed there?
A 4.5. So, I mean, it ain't nothing to
write home about.
But closest to Malachi Carter, Elijah Higgins, and Cornelius Johnson, like the Johnson. Plus size target with NFL-ready frame.
Okay, I like that.
Presenting mismatch potential against smaller DBs, which DBs are smaller in the NFL or not as big as wide receivers. Lacks elite top-end speed, may struggle to consistently separate from corners at the next level. Now, we look at that, and then we look at our boy here, Antoine Wells Jr., who I really don't like what I'm seeing in his college stats. But he might have something. Let's see what draft Buzz
and maybe
says. They might be like, look, it's just the place they're playing him. He's the 21st ranked overall. I
like his look.
A lot of
4.5. So I take the last guy over that so far.
Raheem Jarrett, Dontavion Wicks, and Trey Palmer as his comparatives.
Okay, I like the physically. Yeah. He's a physical boy.
Strengths are physicality in all phases, thriving on contact and physical play. And his weaknesses lacks elite separation quickness, making it harder to shake defenders. Same as our last boy. So what we're coming down here to Adam is a pick on a 6 foot 205 on Twain Wells Jr., which I do like the junior as well. And he is, hang on, he's 23, going to be 24. Caden Prather, 6'3", 210, he's 23. I say we go with Prather.
And why didn't you like Chimney Deke? We haven't looked at
Chimney Deke? Oh, yeah. Well, let's have one more look. I mean, he's farther back. 6'1", 195. Good size on him still.
Ant's saying get the size. So Chimney Deke has some size to him.
Deke's not even showing up here.
Okay.
No, I can't get him
Okay.
on the
So
bus.
then Keandre.
Ant wants the size. I agree.
Just give me one more. Give me Keandre Lambert Smith. I know he's in the 200, but we can't look at that. We're trying to pick some stuff up.
6'1", 182, not big enough.
He's a light boy. And then
6'1", 180. It's Caden Prather. This is who we're taking. 6'3", 210. Why don't you like him? Don't like his look.
No, I actually do like his look. No,
Only one drop.
Yeah, I like him better than the other guy.
I mean, I don't know what this logo is here. It looks kind of like European Union-ish.
It's the Maryland Turpentines.
Let's take Prather.
Okay.
Let's bring him to the limit. Let's see what he can do. It's not the wide receiver that we wanted, but guess what?
It's wide receiver that we got, and that's our first CanFan draft of the season. He has NFL size, Ant says. Physicality there. I'm not against our draft here. We're going to see what our grade is. I like our picks. Hey, we played what we got. Let's see what we got here. Okay.
Download that image.
So we got the download. So first off, Ashton Gianti, A+, duh. Jalen Walker, a C-, fuck you. Alfred Collins, so this was after our trade. Alfred Collins got an A- on the Alfred Collins one.
Round 4 here.
So round 4, Jackson Dart, C+, whatever, fuck you. You don't know us. Mitchell Evans, Notre Dame tight end, B+. Then we see CJ West, our defensive interior, with the B-. We made some dangling moves here. We picked up Cody Simon, or Simon, as you like to say, linebacker from Ohio State, C+. We did another trade, got a C+. And then our last pick, a C-.
For Jonah Monheim.
Jonah Monheim.
And then Caden Prather, our C- wide receiver, which he wasn't close to the BPA. So this is based off that. We still got a B+
We still got a
grade.
B+ grade.
Again, I really like the first 2 picks should be starters. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, the Jalen Walker C- is a fucking bullshit type of pick. Alfred Collins, he's on my list now. I mean,
let's have a look. We gotta learn more about this Alfred Collins if he's gonna show up there.
I like the A-. I like the CJ West. I like the Johan guy as well. As for our later round boys. We do like our later round kind of dumpster dive picks, right?
This guy right here, Johan Monheim, the center from USC. He's a guy who I'm looking at for the Cowboys to get strictly based off of his ability to play his flexibility.
Yeah, he's a yoga boy.
So that was our first mock draft, y'all. Definitely come back. Make sure you come back. Every Wednesday we'll be doing a mock draft. Sundays we're going to be speaking about kind of positional groups.
Player groups, right?
Player groups. And
positional groups, yeah.
Positional groups. Hit us up on social at Cowboys CanFan or just anywhere really where we'll see you. And let us know who you think, which positional group we should look at first on Sunday.
Yeah.
And we're going to start going through those.
We want it to be very engaging. So we help us learn with some of the guys that you're hot for.
Or let us know guys that you think we should look at. We're not looking for the top 10 or the first and second rounder guys because those are almost a little too obvious. Let us know some of your late round kind of steals.
Yep.
Or sneak peek.
Yep.
Sneals is what I was going to say.
And listen, it's not always about the PFF grade, right? If we feel like we drafted a guy who was solid for the position.
Well, Jalen Walker,
if for the position and the area that we grabbed him, and we're happy about him, I'd rather take a C- for a guy that we feel is going to be a dog on the team than trying to have a A+ PFF board.
Absolutely. Well, hey, come join us again on this Sunday. We're doing the Sunday service, the revival. Ooh,
we don't know. Hey, we don't know what the regular time, like Wednesday night main events, is 6 p.m. PST. Sunday service, we usually hit around.
We're gonna figure it out.
4 p.m., but we'll see.
It could be anywhere from noon to 4. I think.
Just like Johan Monahan, it's a flex time.
We'll try to give you. Yeah, we'll try to give you guys a little bit of heads up so you can make sure that you book that time off from any family adventures this Sunday. The first Sunday, well, I guess there was 2 weeks ago no football on Sunday. However, this is the first official
Off-season
NFL
Sunday.
off-season Sunday. So we expect that you have nothing to do.
And if you know anybody out there that's a Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles fan, you just go ahead and look them in the eyes and you tell them to go fuck themselves. 'Cause we're out.
Don't hate me.
Ah, ah.